Getty Images Khris Davis, too, will be putting his power swing on display through the 2021 season after signing a contract extension. Oakland does a 2-year contract extension signed by Athletics designated hitter Khris Davis signify that management has closed the revolving door into the clubhouse. Davis, flanked by all his teammates 5 hours before their series opener against the Toronto Blue Jays, was the feature attraction Friday at a pre-game press conference, an event that general manager David Forst conceded was a long time coming. "I haven't done a lot of these," Forst said to reporters following the press conference. "It's not a secret that a lot of players have left and we have to go back to Eric Chavez for players we've been able to keep in free agency. I think we picked a special guy to do it with. Once upon a time, in 2004, Eric Chavez signed a 6-year, $66 million contract to stay in Oakland. Since then, the A's and their Moneyball, baseball on a budget philosophy have recycled talent into younger talent in order to keep costs down. It helped that Davis never wanted to test the open market, making it clear to VP of Operation Billy Beane and Forst that he wanted to be in Oakland. In order to accomplish that, Davis agreed to a 2-year extension worth a reported $33.5 million. A hero's welcome for KD in here town. Davis, who avoids the spotlight, appreciated a stress-free negotiation period where he was assured things would get done. In spring training, they called me in the office and said, "Just worry about playing baseball, and I think that's why I like it here is because it's easy to just focus on the game," Davis said. Davis didn't want to play on just any team. He wanted to play on this team, citing teammates such as Matt Chapman, Matt Olson and Chad Pinder. "Just the experience with these guys, you learn things," Davis said. "I kind of feel like I'm at a baseball school almost. There's so much youth in there, there's just a drive that I want to be a part of. I think we could get to the playoffs again and again, like no doubt in my mind." Manager Bob Melvin is hoping that Davis signing is a watershed moment in the way the A's do business. "The reputation here is once they start to make a little money, they move along and I think they're trying to change that narrative," Melvin said. "Moving into a new ballpark would help with that, but I think committing to KD kind of shows you what we hope is the strategy down the road, and that's to sign some of these other guys too. That's the first step in showing the guys that are here that is the case, and that would be great." Forst understands the skepticism about holding on to key players based on recent history. "I'm sure every time I said, "We're still talking, we'll get there," people probably stopped believing at some point, but it was just a matter of timing to get this one. I'm thrilled we did. There are other players that we've had conversations with, they're ongoing conversations, and it's a matter of timing. It takes two to tango. You have to find enough common ground." For complete Oakland A's coverage, follow us on Flipboard. Teammates, who warmed up wearing green and gold KD2 t-shirts, were happy for Davis and guardedly optimistic about keeping key players on the roster. Players such as third baseman Matt Chapman, first baseman Matt Olson, shortstop Marcus Semien and closer Blake Trinan are under team control, but in past years would be considered too expensive once they became eligible for arbitration and eventually free agency. "For me, it's hard to talk on that," Chapman said. "Obviously, I want to be a part of this organization and love coming to play here. I love the A's and I want to be part of this for a long time, and Khris is a step in the right direction for all of that. I'm just committed to showing up every day, working hard, and whatever happens, that's kind of out of my control." Semien, who went to high school in Berkeley and went to Cal, knows full well how the A's have operated in the past, noting how previous playoff teams were broken up over contract concerns. Marcus Semien celebrates with Khris Davis following an A's win, and at Bay Area News Group, "You see a lot of A's playoff teams and how those guys are on other teams," Semien said. "Now I feel we're getting close to that, last year making the playoffs and hopefully this year. We've got a nice core group. It's hard to find a good, young core group that gets along and plays well together. We'll see what happens," said Olson. "It's definitely encouraging. It's a good scenario for everyone as far as KD, the team, the fans, as players in here. It's all good when you see the team committing to a guy like that. You see KD getting what he deserves, and obviously you have the fans, who are going to be able to come watch him in the lineup every day for the next 2.5 years. Trinan will be even happier when he sees younger players getting new deals as well. I'm excited for KD because that means we have at least one guy here for the long term, Trinan said. I'll be more excited when other guys are locked down too. I don't want to get hung up on one signing when they're talking about the future, because the future still has to be played out, right? Olsen off tee. Olsen took the next step in his rehab following surgery to remove the hamate bone from his right hand, swinging off a batting tee for the first time. On Wednesday night, Olsen took some fun-go swings in the Raiders' locker room. The tee was kind of the next step. He's going to be quite a bit of that before he ends up taking batting practice, Melvin said. I think the timetable we talked about from the very beginning, 6 to 8 weeks, we're still in good position for that. Kyler Murray Money Forced had the following response when asked if he had any comment on the Sports Illustrated report that the A's offered Kyler Murray an additional $14 million to stick with baseball rather than participate in the NFL draft. I'm going to watch the draft next Thursday, get Morning Report and other email newsletters, sign up, let's block ads. Why?